everybody, and welcome to the second in my video series on the Ascendant through the various Nakshatras. Just a reminder, this is going to be part of a much greater series of all the planets through all the different Nakshatras, 270 videos in general. If you want to know more about what the Nakshatras are, I recommend going back to the first video in this series, which you should see a link down in the bottom left corner, and that'll give you a little more background. But just to touch on it briefly, Nakshatras help to grow the consciousness of a planet in a particular way, or grow the consciousness of the ascendant, or the Lagna, as it's also known, in a particular way as well. They can be viewed as subsections of zodiac signs, but really they're much more than that. What is the Lagna? Well, the Lagna technically is the point that's on the horizon at the time that we're born, the point that's on the eastern horizon, and it signifies the self. This is going to be a particular degree of a sign, and it'll help us to understand the body and appearance of an individual, their cognizance or their perception on life, and generally the type of person that they are and the path that their life is usually likely to take in general. So we're going to look at a few different aspects in relation to Bharani and how that would color the individual's life in that particular manner. Let's understand Bharani a little more deeply, though. Bharani is associated with Yama, who is the Vedic god of death. The concept here being Yama was the one who ushered souls from one realm of their existence into the next realm. So the body died, and the soul went on to the afterworld, and Yama was also the one who would give the body, or give the soul rather, a new form when it was to come into its next life. So Bharani is also the form giver. It tends to create restraint for something else to come into being. It has the power to cleanse away impurities. All the Nakshatras have a particular Shakti associated with it. That's the one connected with Bharani, the power to cleanse away impurities, right? This nakshatra is connected with Venus, so the dignity of Venus in the chart, dignity's well-being, is very much going to tie in with how it makes an individual act. So now that we've got the background on Bharani pretty down, right, let's take a look at how the Lagna would behave in it. In terms of appearance, people with their Lagna and Bharani are going to be very powerful and very refined looking due to Venus's impact on them. There will also be a certain degree of darkness. Just as Ashwini, which we speak about in the first video, is the divine impulse, Bharani gives form to that. So it's that mystery of creation, the divine feminine, if you will, that gives form to a specific impulse. And that's going to give these particular natives a very mysterious, dark, and powerful appearance. In addition, these people can quite often appear to be pained. Why? Because Bharani bears the burden. Just like in order for a child to come into being, right, the mother must first go through labor pains. The individuals who are here with Bharani as their ascendant, they're here to carry a burden, to bring ideas into form. They are the creators, and they're going to cleanse away things that aren't right in order to create something better. People who have their Lagna and Bharani may also be very fascinated by the concept of death or transformation. So if you give these people an idea, they have the strength, the power, and the capacity to bring it into being. But if they don't like your idea, they're not going to bother with it. But say, for instance, you have an idea that they like it in essence, right? But there's some things that they perceive to be flawed with it. Well, what they'll do is they're going to help you to cleanse away all that is not really, from their perspective, good with the idea, so that they can help you to bring it into form. If this person has Venus in Pisces, where Venus is exalted, then they're going to give unconditionally to their friends and to humanity in general. And say if Venus is in the middle portion of Pisces, then they're going to feel very inspired to do so. And they'll view it as an act of service to humanity and part of their own path to perfection. Now, before we proceed, I also want to say that these are just some general concepts associated with it. A lot ties in with the well-being of Venus, where Venus is placed, planets that are influencing Venus. If you want to know a little bit more about that in general, you can also go to my free chart calculator on my site, and you can look at your own chart and where Venus is placed. And if you need a little bit of help interpreting it, you can also book an astrological service with me. If Venus is in Virgo, however, where Venus is going to be debilitated, Venus is going to give these people likely the propensity to either with their creative ideas or those things that they're creating, to be a little overly critical of their own ideas or of their own intelligence in relation to those ideas. Or in terms of concrete things in their life, these people can be very strict disciplinarians with their children, and they may be coming from a perspective of really wanting to help their children due to something that they're seeing about their child, but may ignore the child's own inherent qualities due to their own ideas about what the child could cultivate. Let's say Saturn happened to be with Venus in Virgo. Then it may be that this particular person benefited from their father being a certain way, and so they think that that's the best way to help their child to grow. But again, they may miss what is actually best for the child and just be a little too harsh and a little too restrictive. But by the same token, if Venus happened to be in the final portion of Virgo, say in the Nakshatra of Uttara Phalguni, then they're usually going to be more open-minded, and if they tend to walk that particular path, they're going to be willing to listen to what their children say if their children raise a fuss about that particular point, and instead try to tune into what the inherent qualities of that child are that are more better, that are going to be more able to benefit from the influence of a disciplining parent in a positive manner. So those are just a couple of different aspects. And again, it all ties in with the nature of Venus in the chart in terms of how that's really going to color the way the individual will act. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the particular influence, or whether or not you even have your ascendant in Bharani Nakshatra, again, you can visit the free chart calculator on my site. From that particular page, if you calculate your chart by entering your birth information and you decide you'd like to book a consultation with me, you can also find the link from that very same page. That's going to do it for this short video on the Ascendant in Bharani Nakshatra. Until the next video that we do, I do hope that you take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.